All right, let's talk about something that is important. At least it's important to me. And that's playing with intent. Did you really mean it? We've all been there, right? We've been at the gig, somebody else's gig out in the audience watching, and seen that guy or gal up on stage playing. And it's like they're going through the motions, and you could tell they don't really mean what they're playing. They don't really hear what they're playing. They're just playing blah, 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 whatever comes out. Or the other side of that is we've been in that audience and looked up at that stage and seen a musician going just like showing off, preening and primping and strutting and playing cool stuff. Don't get me wrong, nothing wrong. Neither one of those scenarios are playing wrong notes. It's, do they mean it? Do they really mean what they play? Do they really feel what they play? That's something close to my heart, and it's because I cut my teeth as a blues musician, and that's where I started, and where my heart resides still to this day. It's always at the forefront of my thinking when I'm soloing. How do I really say what I'm hearing, what I'm feeling? How do I really play what I mean? And I think that should always be the goal in a great improvisation, to mean what you play. I get that statement a lot from people. They always ask me, like, you know, you play these long solos and yet, there's no meandering. Well, it's because I'm like really, really trying to create a narration, and I'm really trying to play what's in here. I hear it in here, I feel it in here, and hopefully these can do it. I can physically accomplish the task. So let's talk a little bit about playing with intent. All right, so how does one start playing with intent? How do you really mean it? Well, the first thing we got to do is pay attention to what we're really hearing in here. What's the first thing you hear when a piece of music comes on the radio, or when you're in an audience listening to somebody play, or when you're on stage playing music with other people? What's that real first thought you have when it's your turn to play, when a groove kicks in? We have to be aware of it and cognizant to be able to take advantage and play truthfully, honestly, and with the necessary intent. So let's make up a groove, right? It may not be the shuffle from the top there, the one in B. Maybe it'll be another groove. We'll just pull it out of thin air. Okay, I got something. I just feel time, and a funk groove comes on. Maybe it'll be a kind of JB's thing, like. Right? So maybe it's some sort of JB's funk groove, some straight eighth note thing. Could be anything. But when I'm hearing that groove, I'm going to have something come to my mind, right? And I got to pay attention to what it is. All right, so what am I hearing over that groove, right? We've got it stationary. We got that. Dun, 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 dun. And I'm hearing something like a singer would play or a horn player. There's going to be a melody like dun 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 bum 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 ba-da-da ba-da-da dun 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 bum bum bum. So when it comes time for me to play, I'm going to play something like that. Right? Something conversational in manner. When you start a solo that way, it normally leads you down the right path because you've already started to get into this call and response thing where you play something, you answer it, and it's truthful to what you're hearing and feeling, right? You really mean it. How else do you kind of start to, sharpen these skills and really mean that stuff? Well, you got to play, with the groove. You don't ever want to be in opposition of the groove unless it's a real choice to turn things around or play through bar lines or swing something when it's straight or straighten something out when it's swung. So you got to be cognizant of the groove. When I play a solo over that groove that we've just invented, you should be able to feel it just by me going like this. Right? You should be able to feel the time in that solo as I play, because I'm a part of the groove, even when I'm soloing. And I don't want to not acknowledge what's going on. It's very important. How else do you really mean what you say? Well, again, you pay attention to that little thing in your head that's telling you where to go. So when I hear a lick, dun, 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 bam, bam, boom, I'm hearing the answer to that. Dun, dun, bam, 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 da, 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 ba, da, 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 da. Okay, why would I do that? Why all of a sudden would I play that longer lick after all those bursts? Because I'm having a conversation. Right? Because I'm telling you, hey man, what's going on? Oh, really? That's cool. Well, really, dude, what I've been wanting to say is blah, 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 bam. So it's like you're speaking to somebody and you're putting punctuations in. It's not run on sentences. So I end phrases. I'm really sharpening the editing process between what's in here and what's in here. So that's the other half, right, of the intent. How do you really mean it? What you're feeling? Well, maybe I'm feeling fucking angry. You know what I mean? So that may mean I'm going to play in a much more aggressive way and, with different dynamics than I would if I was feeling relaxed. So I might play. Right? I'll play a different way. Maybe I'm feeling relaxed. I'm going to change my dynamics then and play maybe a little bit more swung. Right? And the main thing is I need the ability to do this on the fly, to play this way, that way, because my mood may change mid-sentence or it'll be affected by the conversation I'm having with the band. So just like when you're talking to somebody, if they say something exclamatory, it's going to raise your level. Well, if the band does something that gets my attention, I'm going to react to that, right? So if I'm playing that bump, bump, bam, and the drummer goes da 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 ba da down, shakadoom, blam, and leaves a hole, then I might go, and answer him back, So you have to be listening to everything, not just the band and the world, yourself too. It's all those factors. You're listening to what's in here, you're listening to what's out here on the stage, you're listening to what's out there, and that's how you honestly build a solo and play with intent. You got to mean it. You can't ever be looking out at that audience and be thinking, if I play this, I'll get this reaction. If I play this, I'll get this reaction. No, it should be, a flow and an honest, truthful, conversation between your head, your hands, your heart, and the environment around you. And if you do that, people will know the difference. Like I said, we all know when we're looking up at somebody just jiving us, or if we're looking up at somebody that's really playing with intent and they really mean that shit. So I hope this will lead you down the path of righteousness. But really, come on, play that stuff and mean it. All right, and if you're not a ruler yet, please join up, become a ruler. I'm going to do another video for the rulers about this subject. But play with some intent, everybody. You mean this, and I want to hear it. I don't want any extraneous stuff. I want to hear the real straight dope. So come on. Give it to me. Ruling.